Hi, I'm back. I don't know why I said that so chipper because I have not really been in a chipper mood, but I am back. I wanted to make another video talking about Say Her Name, which was a hashtag created quite some time ago to say the names of black women, trans and cis, slain by the police or by the state, or who have been victims of racialized and sexualized violence. So many people have not been saying her name. We've been saying Sandra Bland's name. We've even said Korryn Gaines' name for a little bit. But Korryn Gaines didn't even get the attention that she deserved because she wasn't respectable. She was a loudmouth little girl, as some black man said. Notice they had to infantilize her. Instead of saying she was a woman with two children, she was a little girl. And on my Twitter on Thursday, when black men and black women were attacking me for saying that I'm not going to protest for Black Lives Matter until they include black women and people a part of LGBTQIA, they try to bring up Sandra Bland, and then they brought up Korryn Gaines. But one guy said, oh, they mentioned that one light-skinned woman. I forgot her name, though. The fact that you focused on the fact that she was a light-skinned girl shows how colorist, color-struck, and misogynistic you are. You need to say her name. Her name was Korryn Gaines. Sandra Bland only got so much attention because she was respectable, because she was in a sorority, what do you call those, BGLO. She had a very respectable reputation. She had her little page about Black Lives Mattering and being white supremacy. So she was someone that had fans by other black people. And there's nothing wrong. I am proud of her for being a black woman of that status. I am very proud of her. I appreciate everything that she has done. But I am just saying why she got so much attention, and for people to always bring up Sandra Bland. They even did that in Empire, where they brought up Sandra Bland and the recent victims of the police, but forgot Korryn Gaines, because Korryn Gaines pointed a gun at a police officer. Apparently, you never actually see her do it, but apparently she had a shotgun and she was holding her son in the other hand while she shot at them. But it's just this whole thing that really gets me riled up, because y'all won't say her name. Just like I said in my last video, when I try to say that it would be nice if black women were mentioned among the body count of the state, this woman, Round Crown Queen, had the nerve to laugh and say, just because your name is not getting enough attention or black women are being talked about enough, mind you, this is a black woman, doesn't mean that you can act like black men ain't shit. Really? And I'm sorry, but most black men ain't shit. And I say this because I'm tired of giving excuses. I've explained it, but people want to call me bitter. And when I say actually get attention, I don't fit their narrative of someone who is bitter, ugly, and doesn't get enough attention. So they want to make things up. They want to have some sort of cognitive bias. Can you guys see well? Because I'm pretty sure it's dark. But I'll be back because the light. But yeah, people want to have a cognitive bias. I think that's better. They want to have a cognitive bias and say that I am lonely and bitter and don't get enough attention, because if I say, well, I do get attention, they say, no, you don't, because they want to act like I'm some ugly, bitter black woman that's alone and have no friends and family, no black man to give me attention, because they want to make me mad. And it does make me mad, because no matter what I say, you're still going to say the same thing, that I'm bitter, that I'm ugly, and that I need to work on my appearance. And these coonish, niggerish men want to come at me. And I say this because they are acting very niggerish. They want to sit here and say they are oppressed and that I need to protect them, but you're acting very niggerish. And honestly, like I said in my last video, you can die alone. You can. And I hope you do. I hope no black woman is there to tend for you, because y'all say all the time that you want white women, you want Latina women, you want women that are non-black. But then the moment when it comes to racism, you need black women, because you know deep down that black women will always be there for you, or that black women will be the ones to understand you the most. But you know what? I'm leaving. I don't care. And for those saying, well, what about children? What about family? What about loved ones? You know what I am talking about. I am sick of people bringing up children and loved ones and grandfathers and grandpas and great grandpas and fathers, uncles. I am tired because people know what I mean. They just need a way to make black men included, because I'm not going to make black men comfortable. I will not. I don't care if you're a good black man. I don't care if you appreciate black women. I don't care, because most of y'all only appreciate black women for their looks. I am sorry, but y'all do. If it's not because we are mules and help you and kickstart the movement, it's because of our looks. You guys are shallow, simple-minded people, and I just can't. Because growing up, I thought, I want to be seen as pretty. I want attention. I always cared about how I looked. I didn't have the best self-esteem as a child. Actually, it was the worst. But now, looks aren't everything, because I see so many pretty people, physically attractive people, being so ugly, being so concerned with having long hair and having melanin on fleek and looking, extravagant, but want to be nasty to black women who don't have that attention, because apparently if we're not worshiping black men and saying that we love them with all our hearts, then we're bitter. And you have other black women saying that. And I don't care. I really do not care about those women, because I say I protect black women and that I will preach for black women and that I will march for black women, but not those women. No, they can be with the men. They can be with the men. I'm not going to beg certain black women to see other black women as humans, because you know what? You're just as violent, and you're more violent in ways because no one sees you as violent. That's why I pinpointed the fact that this girl was pretty, because she's so pretty, no one saw her comment as violent. I was a violent, bitter, ugly black bitch. She was a pretty little girl, saying violent things and then bringing up her abusive past to make it like she was a victim, when she literally called me a lunatic. She called me an ableist slur, and the little fucking cunt had the nerve to say I'm ableist because you're a mentally unstable lunatic. You fucking bitch. I hope you get punched in the face. And I will say this again, because you are a vapid, nasty little queen. You really are. You are the evil queen in Snow White. You want to call yourself Round Crown Queen? Well, if you're a queen, then I guess I'm Snow White, because you're a hater. You're a hater. And I'm sick of this queen logic that queens are these respectable black women who are weak, who are docile, who don't care about other black women, whose main goal is to look pretty and to worship black men, because black men are so used to us finding them attractive. Black women are the least likely to date outside of their race. Black men are the most likely to date outside of their race. I had one black man with a porn blog say that I was only upset just because black men didn't find me attractive, and I didn't need to say all of these things just because someone didn't find me attractive. Bitch, so many black men kill black women just because black men don't find them attractive. Recently, a black man killed a woman at a festival because she told him to stop grinding on her. So many black men shoot black women in the face because they say no to their sexual requests, or they say no to giving out their numbers. So many black men kill black women because they don't find them attractive. But you want to tell me that I am saying that I'm not going to protect black men and stand up for them because of the fact that they don't find me attractive, not just physically, but mentally. They don't like a black woman, and I'm not going to protest for them. I'm not going to protest for someone who reminds me that I'm not good enough, who makes posts on Twitter all the time about how black women are whores, how they are sluts, how they aren't Ayesha Curry, how they are Cardi B's, how they aren't worthy of love and respect, and how we are just stupid and dramatic. But then when something like the whole Terrence situation comes down, then these same people want to talk about how they care about black people. You don't care about black people. You just care about the popular people. I feel like I am in high school where it's all the popular kids that get attention. And then when I finally say, fuck it, I don't care about your approval, then they want to get mad. It's like when the popular kids exclude us from the table and we create our own table, and then they are mad because we don't invite them. It's the same thing. The black men are the popular people in the black community, and then the light-skinned people. That's just how it is. I am using high school analogies because it feels like it. You're mad because I am standing up to the popular kids. I am standing up to the fact that they don't care about me. I am sick of it. I can say this so many times. I am sick of it. And I will not specify protecting black men when you don't specify protecting black women. You're lazy. And it's not just black women, because there are more than one gender. There are non-binary people. There are people who are two genders. There are so many genders, so it's not just black men and women. You need to just say black people. And then when we want to talk about misogyny and racialized and sexualized violence, then we can bring up black women. But you need to say black people, because there are so many black people a part of the LGBTQIA who are killed, including women, trans women. They are included as a black female body count. But a lot of you guys consider trans women to not be women. You consider them to be black men. You don't even consider cis black women to be women. So that's why you guys think saying Black Lives Matter encompasses everyone when it doesn't. I am not a man. Trans women aren't men. No black woman is a man. So don't think because you say black men that I am supposed to feel represented and included, because you refuse to see me as a woman. You refuse to see me as a damsel. So many white women are allowed to be damsels and to be saved by their knights in shining armors. But then when we say, well, we're weak, we need to be protected, you get mad and say that we need to be strong for black men, cis-het, able-bodied black men, because I know not all men have the same abilities. So I am going to be specific just for the one time. I will not go out of my way to protect cis-hetero, able-bodied black men above the ages of 18. I will not. You are grown men. You can take care of yourself. You're supposed to be hyper masculine with the muscles and everything. And you embrace those stereotypes. You embrace the stereotypes of having the biggest dicks, having the darkest skin, having the biggest muscles. But when it's to your disadvantage, then you want to act like it's so hard and that black women need to come and save you. No. I know good and well that black women aren't shit. I know that I ain't shit to you guys. I know good and well that's how we are perceived. But then I also know that it's not true. And you know it's not true. You use that as a form of control. You use the fact that black women ain't appreciated in this society and claim that we're so ugly to make us feel low so we can't have high self-esteem. And when we finally say, you know what, I'm only going to protect black women and black people who deserve it, then it's like my feelings are hurt because I told you to go screw yourself. Say her name. Say her name. You need to say her name. And as I said, I can't believe that woman had a nerve to say that being compared to a cockroach is not the same thing to being compared to the life of a black woman, even though I said cockroaches are literally squashed. So many people, when we are compared to cockroaches, that means that you want to tase us, that you want to squash us, because cockroaches are seen as dirty and just vermin people. Comparing people to vermin, you know, the history of being compared to a vermin as a marginalized person is not pretty. Extermination, genocide, and a lot of us have been compared to German. Black people, Jewish people, you know, we've been compared to that. So don't think that being compared to a vermin is a lesser form of offense than saying that we need to die, because that's essentially the same thing. Comparing black women, comparing any group of women to vermin is disgusting. It's disgusting, especially, you know, the connotation between being a cockroach and being a dark-skinned woman. I'm not dark-skinned, but what I am saying is that you know the connotation of what a cockroach entails. You knew what I meant. You were just being nasty, and you thought because you got attention from black men saved you from that horrible history that you shared, then that means that you can be a little cunt to other black women and tell us that we don't matter and that we need to praise black men just because the black men in your life were good to you. That is so selfish. You are selfish. And like I said, I don't like to use this language, but when I am so disgusted in people, I just have to say how I feel. I do. I also want to talk about something else because this has been bothering me. But don't you guys hate it when you are on Twitter and you make general tweets about your day and what's going on, and then someone says, why are you subtweeting me? Or are you subtweeting me? Or they'll try to say, oh, that's not what I was doing, and what are you talking about? But you weren't subtweeting them. But then when you make an obvious subtweet specifying what is happening, then they don't want to say anything because they don't want to get a rise, or they don't want you to get a rise out of them. They want to always call you out when you are making general tweets, not necessarily about them, but it could be inspired by their actions. They want to try to call you out, but then when you make a subtweet being specific about what the situation is, they don't say anything. Because when I subtweet, I am very specific. I am subtle, but specific enough where whoever I am subtweeting will know who I am talking about. So if I am subtweeting you, you know who I am talking about. You know I am talking about you, because I'm not going to say something general or vague like, man, I hate when people, or this is so annoying. No, I'm going to be specific about what's going on. Like, don't you hate it when people are ignoring your text messages, but you can go on Snapchat and see their score go up, which means that they are talking to someone else. That is something that I am talking about. Not something like, I hate being ignored, or like, I will be specific. So that's what I want to say, because lately people just been really annoying me. I am tired of it. And I am a nice person, because being a Capricorn really makes you loyal to other people, and it makes you want to forgive others, no matter how shitty they are. But I am done just trying to be nice. This person isn't texting back, and I'm like, good night. So then you're not going to text back. But then you go from 3,000 and something like 3,283 points, and then the next day you get like 3,023. So you literally go up like 30 points. No, actually 31 points, because now it's 4, because I texted this person and said, having a good day. You know what? I'm tired, and people think this is dramatic and that I need to stop being, crazy, ableist terms, but it's just, I just hate being mistreated. I don't like uncertainty. I like people to text back, and if they can't, I want them to say, sorry, I was busy. I don't text people all the time, but if I am involved with someone, if I am seeing someone, if I am being intimate with someone, of course I am going to text them all the time. I feel like that is owed to me. If we are seeing each other in a way where it's not a relationship, but we're also close, or we're like friends or something like that, I expect something like a text back. It's not that I expect it all the time, but if I'm like, how are you, and you literally ignore me, but then I see that your score is going up, wow. And I don't want to share too much personal information, but I don't know, because you can't really complain because you're not in a relationship, but you're so involved with the person. That's the thing. You're involved with the person. But that's all I have to say for now.